All right, so we are on the monthly payment. This is 11/7. Most mortgage loans are repaid in equal monthly payments. Each payment includes an amount for payment of interest and amount for payment of the principal. Okay? So the amount of interest is calculated using the simple interest formula. This is kind of what you might remember. Principal times rate times time. And then the amount of principal that you owe decreases with each payment that you make. They say that if you try to make one extra payment per year, that you'll lower a 30-year mortgage to 23 years. That's what they say. And I try to do that by like if your mortgage is $1,450, maybe you try to make it $1,600, and then over the time, over that year, because if you're paying an extra $150 times 12, that gets you to an extra payment. So it's not like I come up with one extra payment. It's more add. I do this with my car payment too. So you can try to do that. Although my car payment is 0% interest, so really I shouldn't pay ahead on that because it's like free money. Okay, amount of interest is the mortgage times the interest rate divided by 12, and then the principal is the monthly payment minus the interest. So we've talked for the last few sections about the amount of that interest and how fast that grows. And then the new principal is obviously the previous principal minus the principal payment. So if your mortgage is $1,450, maybe only $800 of that, honestly, is coming off of the principal, and the other is going to interest. It's really sinful. So as much as you can, try to pay off your anything, car, house, but especially a house, because that's usually the longest. Okay, so we're going to take our amount of interest. Remind me, field trip. Field trip. Anyone have their field trip ready to turn in? Okay, so get your field trip form signed. So those will be due Tuesday. You need your teacher signatures and your parents. Okay. All right. So we're going to take $250,000 times the term loan at 4%. So this is a matter of taking that chart. I want to slide the chart over so that you're not dizzy. Sorry, I'm looking for this chart from our mortgage payments. It's our last little bit. Okay, so this is the chart we have to look at. We're looking at 4% for 30 years, so $4.77. So I'm going to take the monthly payment of $4.77 per 1,000. So that'll be the 250. I don't have room to say 1,000, but there we go. But that's per 1,000. So 4.77 times 250. Which gets us to, remember, that's you have to divide it by 1,000. 1192.50. So then you take your amount of interest, your 250 times 4, divided by 12. So this is our new little dealio. So 250, I'm going to use my old key for this because it's a little bit smaller. But I'm just showing you how this one is first. So I'm doing it right here. So you take your mortgage's amount, $250,000 times 0.04, get an answer, divided by 12. So $833.33. So the monthly payment of $1192.50 minus $833.33 is what that's all you're taking off the principal. Isn't that crazy? I hope you guys are like really realizing how money works. It can work for you in investments, the up way, but then the down way is this is all you're paying off on your house every month. So this $1,192 mortgage, this is all that you're chipping away at the principal. All right. So then the new principal, I'll jump to green or orange here, is it was at $250,000, and now you're taking away $359.17. So $250,000. I think I have too many zeros. Less $359.17 is $249,640.83. And then on it goes. So you take this away month for what's 12 times 30 for 360 months. So it's kind of discouraging. My monthly mortgage rate will tell me what I owe at the bottom of it every month. So it helps a little bit. Sometimes people, if they come into money, like, oh, I just, got my tax return and it was $3,000. So they might throw it in their mortgage just to kind of keep chipping away at that. But let's face it, most people take a vacation or something. Okay, so $250,000 times 4% for 15 years. Let me get you back to that chart. I'll try to make this one a little bit neater. Sorry. Okay, so $250,000, 4% for 15-year loan is $739. So $739 times 250, because remember it's per thousand. 1847.50. And then I take that $7.39 times the amount of interest. Oh, this will still be the same amount of interest. I don't want to do that again, as long as it's still the same chart. Okay, so that's the monthly payment. This is the amount of interest every single month. Eesh. So the principal payment is the $1847. So again, when you take your test, I hope you're writing yourself some love letters like, oh, this is what you do. Minus 833.33. So that'll be 1014.17. So that's what you're chipping away. So that's quite a difference in the 15 versus the 15-year loan versus the 30-year. So now instead of just chipping away $359, you're chipping away $1,014. You'd think it would be double, and it's not. It's more than double. That's how money accrues. So this is the same percent, same house, but this is how much faster you can get it paid off by half the loan. So when people refinance, typically they refinance for a lesser amount. Okay, so now I'm going to take that $250,000, take away 1014.17, and now I owe $248,985.83 after 1 month. After another month, keep taking this away, but now you're only taking it away 180 times. So that's why it grows instead of the 360. Okay. So now let's see like one without the chart. Sometimes the chart's a little bit easier. William and Marion purchased a townhouse for $250,000. They made a 10% down payment of $25,000 and financed the remaining amount 5% for 30 years. Find the following. Okay, so we have a 5%. for 30 years. So just getting ready there is $5.36. Here, I'll try to scoop this up so you can see it up top there on the screen. So I 536 times, so if they put this as their down payment, they're only financing $225,000. So be careful there. That's an easy mistake to make on the test. So 5.36 times 225,000 is 1206, because that's per thousand. So remember, this is going to cancel, that's going to cancel. So that's where I'm getting that. I'm going to kind of stop showing my calculator just to save time and energy. So 1206. All right, the amount of interest paid this month is the 225 times the 5% divided by 12. So 225,000 times 0.05 divided by 12 is 937.50. All right, so the principal payment is 1206 less 937.50. So 1206 less 937.5 is 268.50. And then the new principal is 225,000, and you take away that little measly 268.50, and you still owe 224,731.50. So again, this is your monthly payment, and that's all you're chipping away. So you're paying almost $1,000 in interest. Okay, putting down 10% is, or getting 5% for 30 years. Now banks are charging 7%. So this is what all the hype is about with the Federal Reserve not lowering the interest rate. So as soon as that gets lowered, God bless you, you'll have a lot of people buying that. Okay. So I'll kind of just start to go a little bit faster. So 392.5 is there. They made a down payment of 42.5. So that minus that is 350,000. So that is what they're financing. So going to the chart, because this is 5% for 30 years, so it's the same value that we just did. So again, these thousands are going to cancel out. So on your calculator, you're just doing 5.36 times 350, 1876. Amount of interest paid this month, so 350K, 0.05 divided by 12, so that's just this month. So that is 1458.33. Now, as you chip away at it, this goes down, 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 down. So you do pay less interest over time, but if you can pay it off quicker, obviously you don't have any interest if it's paid off. So then you're taking away 1458.33. So that very first payment, all you're taking away is 417.67. So your new principal is now 349.582. Now they have calculators to do this. I can look one up here, but then the next month, this would go there times 0.05 divided by 12. So you're paying, again, it's going down by like pennies every month, eventually dollars. Okay, so this is a little bit of a different value. So 413,000, and they made a down payment of 63. So 413 less 63,000. So this is the mortgage loan amount. of 350,000. Boy, I wish we could get a different value, but oh well. So looking at the chart, just, I don't want to keep flipping, but the chart that I'm going to, I'm looking at 30 years, 5.25%, and that is 552 times the 350 per thousand. Again, that's gonna, like, those 3 zeros are gonna cancel out. So on my calculator, I'm just doing 5.52 times 350. So 1932 is the monthly payment. So the amount of interest paid this month is 350,000, and this percent is 5 1/4, so that's 0.0525 divided by 12. So 350,000 times 0.0525 divided by 12. So their monthly payment is $1,531.25. So I'm subtracting these two. So 1932 less, sometimes you can hit second answer if you're getting really savvy. So that's 475. And then the 350,000 less 400.75, although I could have hit second answer again. 349,599.25. So then if I just plug this, and you don't have to write this, but like then I would hit times 0.0525 divided by 12. So now my next mortgage payment is $1,529. Okay, so I chipped another 2, and then you're gonna take that less. You could just see that it's getting chipped away, but you don't have to show that. Okay, and then last one is number 28. Julie Breen. She purchased a mobile home for $55,000. She made a down payment of $5,000 and financed the remaining amount, $4.75 for 15 years. Find her new principal after she makes 2 monthly payments. The problem with a mobile home is you don't own the land, so whoever owns the land is letting you essentially rent it. So you're not only paying this off, but you're also paying rent on the land. So a lot of my in-laws lived in one of these. It's called like senior living, but essentially it was like this, it wasn't a mobile home, but it was still, they call it a manufactured home, where they put it on this slab, but their land rent kept going up. So this person kept charging them more and more and more. So even though they maybe eventually paid this off, they still had this rental that kept going up. So they eventually moved. But there's so many different ways that it's hard to live on. So you kind of have to go with what works for you. All right, so let me run through this. So it's 55,000 less the 5,000 they put down. So obviously that's 50. And then your this is from the chart, 4.75 for 15 years. It's kind of a high rate for 15 years. Usually if you could pay it down faster, it's a lower rate. But, and then the 50,000, those are going to cancel. So what I'm saying is I wouldn't spend time, all those zeros on your calculator. I would just hit 7.77 times 50 to get 388.50. All right, so here comes the 50 and the percent, 0.0475. So 50,000 times 0.0475 divided by 12 is 197.92, good old rounding. All right, so this is what your monthly payment is. Take away the interest that you'll pay every month. So 388.50 minus 197.92 is 190.58. And then your 50,000 loan, I'm just going to put 50K here, less the 197.92 that I just knocked off is 50, 1, 2, 3, less 197.92 is 490. Oopsies, 49,000. I forgot we were doing a little mobile home. Okay, homework, 2 parts. One is this section, which is 11.7, the monthly payment, and field trip forms. Whoopsies. All right, have a good day. If you want to stay for